Now they can hear us.
Now they can hear us. So we've been talking to ourselves here for about 5 minutes, but welcome everybody to the KDJ Edge Design Big Block Modifieds, and we got that little bit of sound problems taken care of, I do believe, and now we can get back to action here.
Yeah, we were telling everybody, talking to everybody about the wiping the sweat off the brow and getting up here in the booth, and I'm defeated over here in the corner, and Dad's on his high horse after a 4th place finish, but you know.
Well, I don't know about a high horse. I really wanted that 3rd spot, at least get on the podium and start getting, and old Daniel Collins get a sneaky Pete on me and got me, so I'll have to probably fire him at work tomorrow, but that's another story as we go on here to that's true. We're looking here at these lap times we were talking about, you know, your 3 guys that's been really up front, sitting on top of the leaderboard right now at 18-3, 18-4, and 18-6 with Cody Buck, Byron Meeks, and Ryan Patton, but the surprise of this list is who's sitting 4th. You're talking about our rookie, one of our rookies this year, Colton Probst, sitting 4th in the leaderboard as far as lap times, so good for him, as he seems to be getting faster each and every week.
Yeah, just last week capped off I do believe a 6th place finish.
Yeah, he stayed out of trouble. It was. Yeah,
last
he wasn't one of the
car
guys.
on the lead lap.
Yeah, he didn't even get lapped. So I mean, that's saying a lot. A lot of people are like, oh, what do you mean? What's the big deal? You know, not even get lapped. Well, a lot of us have been racing years and years, and it's really hard to step into this league as a brand new guy and never racing, and Colton and both John Spill are in here brand new. I mean, guys is first year racing on the sim and racing with guys who've been racing a long time, so it's no small feat to get up there and not even get to finish 6th on a crew like this, you know.
Definitely not a small feat. The car I do want to point out is the Earl the Squirrel Jackson's car is running that tribute wrap for Louis Caldrone. As we had our 4 wide salutes last week, and you know, to show our support, and now we're running a throwback wrap that Louis actually raced way back before I was ever even a thought, and probably before you were really probably close.
Yeah, I might have been a thought, but that's about it.
That's about it. So, pretty cool to see that tribute wrap on here tonight.
It's quite amazing to see just how many people that Louis impacted in his life. Quite a deal there. As a guy lived a full life. I mean, I'll tell you what, he brought a lot of people together and really made something out of Hummingbird Speedway, and definitely be missed.
Definitely will be. Just saw there, I do believe it was Monday, took the final laps around Hummingbird Speedway. Got up on the wheel there in the hearse. So.
Yeah. Yep, he wouldn't want it any other way.
No, he wouldn't. And glad to keep the racing lights on. And now we're taking virtual here. There's Orvis Newcomb right now. He's working, trying to find a way around that 4U junior car. Driven by Earl Jackson. Orvis Newcomb's had some pretty good runs so far this year. Has not been able to really pull it all together in one night, unfortunately. Had a shot there week 1 at Houston and couldn't really capitalize over Cody Buck, and now Byron Meeks has kind of taken him by storm here with he is a 2-time back-to-back feature winner here in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, Byron's a pretty experienced modified driver, and it shows. And Orby's no slouch, that's for sure. He just has had some bad luck. He led the first, I believe, 17 laps last week, and just, I don't know, either something with the ill handling on that car, or maybe just getting away from him a little bit there, trying too hard. It's hard to tell, but he's definitely one of our front runners, just has had some bad luck.
Now, as these two battle, a car in front of them that they're actually holding pace with. Oh, as I say that, he's in the fence hard. Oh, my goodness. Well, you can call that the announcer's curse, but I was going to say Cody Schultz was holding his own out there in that 7 machine.
I don't think there's anything worse than to get a backup car out just after hot laps.
How about it?
We do have our longest race These guys have their longest race out of Oswego tonight for the season, 75 laps. So tire wear and track changing is definitely going to play a part in tonight's race.
Definitely going to play a part. A car that we didn't have last week here at Oswego, that's the 57P of Todd Bailey. He's here tonight, trackside.
That's another guy that's a dark horse who, there when he ran in the Pro Late division, the guy would just like kind of show up out of nowhere mid-race sometimes and just, well, he won, I can't remember exactly, it was 2 or 3 races in the Pro Late, so where he did
take the checkered a few times.
Yeah, he just wouldn't be anywhere in sight. About halfway, here come Todd Bailey, so you never know about him either. Definitely a dark horse, very capable of winning one of these races here.
Another rookie here that we have in the league back here tonight in the 74 machine. That's Jeremy Briol. Cody Buck also here tonight trying to get his second feature win on the season. Ryan Hallman in the pits behind him.
Now there's just 2 minutes remaining in hot laps, and we're going to get these heat races kicked off.
If you're wondering why we give these guys 15 minutes, I would say a clear show of that would be me in last race there. I didn't get into the race till about 50 seconds to go after some mechanical wheel problem. So it lets you have a little bit bigger car count if a guy's having a little trouble, and also allow these guys to burn this track in to give it a little bit more of a racy surface. So I think it's a win-win overall, and you get to see a new addition to the stream here tonight is those sponsors rolling through on the bottom left-hand side of your screen. So if you ever forget...
That's a good point, Tyler. That's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up on why we run that. It's, you know, sometimes these computers, these Oculuses, we get updates, iRacing. You never know when you go to log into one of these races what kind of trouble you can run into, and it just gives you that 15 minutes basically to, if you have trouble, to try to make the troubleshoot, try to make the field, because we don't want people waiting all week to race.
Yeah, and I mean, people, you know, we all have lives, you know. I mean, if you get put into being running first, you know, and you get on at 7, you know, because you work till, you know, let's say 6 o'clock, and you just got home, and you just got some food in you, and then your stuff doesn't work, you don't want to miss out on, you know, something you might have been looking forward to all day at work or all week even, so it's good to have a little bit of time to try and troubleshoot and give a chance to those guys.
Yeah, because I mean, believe it or not, we look forward to this all week. A lot of us will talk smack on each other through the week, or you know, guys really look forward to it. I mean, it's a cool racing deal, and it's grown, and I'm proud of where it's at, and a lot of other people in this league are proud of where it's at, and try to accommodate as much as we can without ruining the night of racing. You know, like the 15 minutes. I know maybe sometimes you're wondering we got to get the show on the road, but you know, overall there's a purpose behind it. And that's a checker flag, and
just with a little talking, it goes by quick. So,
oh yeah,
you know, you grab your popcorn and settle in, and we're getting ready to go heat race action. I tell you what, that berm's looking pretty sturdy out there tonight.
That berm does look. It does look like there's quite the berm out there. I wonder who's going to be the first one to go out there and check it out.
Well, I think there could be a couple drivers that want to tiptoe out there here in this heat race as we take a look here. Why don't you start us off on our front row?
Alrighty, on the front row, and on the pole position in the 66 out of Punxsutawney, PA, will be Orvie Newcomb. Outside of him, one of our rookies out of DuBois will be John Smeal.
Inside row number 2, like we said, having some pretty good runs so far this year, just trying to put one together to maybe get himself a top 5 or podium position here. That's going to be the 7 machine of Cody Schultz. He's out of Clearfield, Pennsylvania. Outside him in the 29 machine out of Phillipsburg, Pennsylvania, that is going to be Cody Buck. He with a feature win on the year already.
And rounding out your field, starting inside that 3rd row in the 4U tonight, will be Earl the Squirrel Jackson out of DuBois. Outside of him, last week's feature winner in the 25 out of Uniontown, PA, will be Byron Meeks.
So that is your field for the first heat race for the KDJS Designs Big Block Modifieds. Pace Truck's going to pull them around one more time, and we're going to turn them loose here at the beautiful Oswego Speedway. Can't wait to get here in the super late models. I think this place is really quite the racetrack.
Oh, and you never know what it's going to do either. I mean, look at the berm out there tonight. I know there wasn't a berm like that last week, and track looks heavy tonight. As we run in this league, we do run realistic weather now, so you never know what kind of weather is going to show up. But we're getting ready to take green.
Here we go.
Sound us off. Sound us off, Tyler. Let's go.
Here we go, out of turn number 4. Orby Newcomb controls the pace. We're getting ready to put fire under the hood here tonight. Oswego, green, 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 out of turn number 4. Veteran and rookie side by side down into turn number 1. Veteran's going to take advantage. There's contact into turn number 1 as Orby Newcomb's going to take the lead early here. Cody Schultz will shoot to second. 3 wide, almost 4 wide behind him. Here comes Cody Buck to the inside of the 4U Junior. Out of turn number 4. They're still going to be side by side, wheel to wheel. Byron Meeks also trying to make his way up. They're 3 wide down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Earl Jackson at the racetrack. Wow, that was close contact. We're going to have an accident. Huge contact. John Smeal, Byron Meeks. John Smeal's lost the left front tire on that machine hard. Oh my, Byron Meeks has a lot of rear steer, you could say. Oh my Lord.
I missed that, Tyler, as I was watching that battle start to heat up front as Cody Schultz had closed the gap on Orby Newcomb, so...
Let's just say the 25M machine has a little bit of rear steer. After that contact, we're going to take a look at that left rear suspension, and that is not good. Take a look at that. Yeah, that's not good as left rear is on the shocks. We'll see how that affects the handling. But before we miss it, we'll go back here and take a look at what exactly happened. And that's just looks like to me one of them things where Cody Buck real quick slides across the nose of Earl Jackson. Earl Jackson takes advantage to try and get down to the bottom and maybe do a little crossover. Byron Meeks drove in on the bottom 3 wide there and was in that lane, and Earl just gets down into him a little bit. John Smeal nowhere to go as he as the 25 goes around in hard contact. So, once you're in the pit, you cannot come back out. So, Byron Meeks is going to attempt to drive that race car. And we'll see if that helps him or hurts him. I can't imagine it helping too much, but you never know.
Yeah, you can't use the elevated outdoors hot pit during heat races, but that is set just for feature time.
Just looked like a racing deal. There's a lot of big stack up there. You know, the rookie John Smeal trying to get his feet under him, getting into one, and these guys are eager. You know, only got 8 laps to get to that front and get yourself a good starting position for your feature. So, you know, a little bit of a quick slide job there from Cody Buck, and Earl Jackson tried to cross over, and 25M was already there. But luckily for the 25, he has to start in the back anyways here, so can't be too mad about that. As Orby Newcomb is going to take us back to green flag racing here as he gets ready to fire. Single file restart here out of turn number 4. He'll fire out of turn 4. Oh, he sped it up there. Now he fires off of turn number 4. Cody Schultz right behind him. See if this battle can heat up a little bit at the front of the field. The 4U Junior did restart in that 3rd place position. Cody Buck now under fire from that 25M machine. That car has got a lot of dig in it with that rear steer. Cody Schultz now got his feet under him. He'll move up the racetrack now, trying to run down that 66N machine of Orvis Newcomb. Here comes Cody Buck on the outside looking for 3rd now. Earl Jackson still has it in that 4U machine. Now Cody Buck will step back out to that big berm on the outside. Cody Schultz is on it, but he might have just started to creep over it. Now here comes Earl Squirrel Jackson. He'll go side by side, wheel to wheel. Drift up the racetrack. He leaves Cody Schultz the lane. Cody Schultz will grab a handful of that cushion down the front straightaway. He'll have him at the line by a cat's whisker. There's a huge slide job. I thought maybe he was going to throw it. I can't believe he cut that down. He drove it in there hard. And I tell you what, it's going to work out, though, is he'll go to 2nd. Earl Jackson to 2nd in that 4U. Now he gets tight up the racetrack. Cody Schultz trying to go back at him. Byron Meeks, Cody Buck side by side behind him. Now we'll move up in front of the 7 machine. Byron Meeks back to the inside of Cody Buck. Cody Buck struggling right now in this heat race. Can Earl Jackson take that 4U machine, put it on the pull here? Looking for his first feature win with the Instigators Racing League. Cody Schultz continues to bang the boards. We got 2 to go out of turn number 4. I tell you what, Earl Jackson's there into turn number 1. Into turn number 1, he's there. Orby Newcomb will slide up the racetrack. Does Earl Jackson have anything for him? In this heat race, white flag, the Spirit Racing Designs, white flag, 1 lap to go out of turn number 4. Orvis Newcomb trying to stretch that gap out. He stretches it out by about a car length. Earl Jackson looking to have a pretty good starting position here. Orvis Newcomb trying to put himself on the pole and lead more laps here tonight. Maybe finish where he starts here. Into turn number 3, out of turn number 4. Outside momentum's going to prevail with the 66, and Orvis Newcomb wins KDJ Designs heat race number 1. Earl Jackson second. Third, getting to third on the last lap is Byron Meeks with that rear steer. 7 machine of Cody Schultz and Cody Buck round out your field. I tell you what, I can't imagine.
That's a pretty stout win for Orvis Newcomb. That was a good run for Cody Schultz too. I just want to shout out because that was a very stacked heat race right there. It was with pretty much all of your winners in the Big Block Modified so far.
Definitely was quite the heat race. But a lot of good drivers here in this KDJS Design Big Block Modifieds.
Oh, for sure. And won't you start us off with this heat race?
Well, on the pole of this one, in the 57C, coming off a career best run with us here at the Instigators Racing League. That is going to be your rookie, Colton Probes. Colton Probes out of Clearfield, Pennsylvania, trying to put himself on the front row of the feature here tonight. Outside of him in the 53P, that's going to be Ryan Patton. He's out of Brockway, Pennsylvania, trying to finally close on one here tonight.
Inside your second row out of Clearfield, Pennsylvania, we got Ryan Hallman with a good run last week until he disappeared. And outside of him, in the other number 57 will be Todd Bailey out of Mundorf, PA.
And rounding out your field, another rookie in that 74 machine. That's going to be Jeremy Brion. He's out of West Lebanon, New York. So we're going to take him around one more time.
That's 2 or 3 drivers now that we got racing out in New York now. As this league is just beginning to expand beyond Pennsylvania. You gotta love that.
Definitely do. I'm starting to wonder what the next state's going to be. You've got Blaze Harrison and Dennis Harrison. And Jeremy Briel. Those are the guys out of New York, I do believe. So, yep. Continuing to expand, and just awesome it's great to meet some great people, and we're going to turn them loose here. Colton Probes, your rookie, going to lead him to the flag here. Looking for the green, trying to give himself his first heat race win. Green flag's out. Into turn number 1. He got a pretty good start. We'll see if that's going to stand or not. And they're going to let it fly. They're going to call the green was flown. So Colton Probes gets a great restart on the veteran of Ryan Patton. And he will lead out of turn number 4. Looking to lead his first ever lap with the Instigators. He'll lead heat race number 2 down into turn number 1. Ryan Patton, he's going to try and run him down. Get us a little tight there, though. Colton Probes steer your leader out of turn number 2. I do believe Colton might even be putting a little bit of the Gapplebees on him right now as we work into turn number 3. Good battle behind him between the 57T and Ryan Hallman. They're side by side right now for that third place position. Oh, there's an elbow there from the 57T. Kind of come down on the 1 machine of Ryan Hallman. They'll make contact down the back straightaway. No harm, no foul. We stay green.
Starting to heat up front as Patton's closing the gap.
Patton is closing the gap now, trying to get a little bit better of a run off that corner. We've got 53 and 57 up front right now. Colton Probes a little loose. Here comes Ryan Patton. Colton Probes got to be shaking in his boots right now. He's got a veteran breathing down his neck as he looks to the inside. Almost contact. No contact there, though. I do believe they stay clean and green off of turn number 4. Colton Probes continues to lead over halfway as we work lap number 5 now. Colton Probes leads the door open. Here comes Ryan Patton. Picks it out to the inside off of turn number 2. They'll single file down into turn number 3. Can Colton Probes keep it under him to try and hold him behind? Now Ryan Patton will jump up to the outside, try to get a big run here. Here comes the 57T of Todd Bailey. Into turn number 1. Now Todd Bailey throws his hat in the ring. We're looking to go almost too wide for second now off of turn number 4. Here comes Ryan Patton. Big run down the back straightaway. Colton Probes maybe going to try and slide up the racetrack here. Ryan Patton on his outside. Out of turn number 4. Half a catch whisker. Ryan Patton makes the move on the outside. Could we see a slide job? Colton Probes to the inside. Oh, Ryan Patton up over the cushion. Colton Probes retakes the lead. Will he close the door? No, he won't. Side by side into turn number 3. Could we see a slider? Up the racetrack through the middle. Ryan Patton up on the berm. Out of turn number 4. Now here comes the Mundorf Warrior. of Todd Bailey. White flag, Spear rakes in his eyes, 1 to go. Into turns 1 and 2. Ryan Patton a little tight there. Here comes Colton Probst and the 57T. Into turn number 3. Final chance, 3 wide for your win here in heat race number 2. Out of turn number 4. Ryan Patton's going to hold him off, and he will win with a great pass. Then it's going to be Todd Bailey. Oh, and we're wrecking down the front straightaway. Jeremy Priault involved.
What a race. What a heat race.
What a race. We'll take a look at what happened here. Oh, just look. Maybe that might have been Colton Probst catching the fence there.
Colton Probst caught the fence. I saw it. I was watching him. But yeah, what a heck of a run by that rookie, though. He held them on, 2 veterans off, especially Ryan Patton. I mean, that's quite a run for him, and I'm sure his heart was pounding. Almost picked up a win. It won't be long. He'll have himself a heat race win or 2 here before too long.
Definitely a pretty good run for him. He almost held him off. Like you said, and definitely no shame in that race there from Colton Probst. And I tell you what, if he can keep his nose clean, he might even be able to make his way into a top 5 finisher tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he raced there like a guy that's been doing it for a couple of years. As he's side by side, leaving room. He had a pretty good feel where the cars were around him. I just want to give props to Colton on a good run there, and congrats to Patton on the win.
Definitely a great race.
Should give him a good start spot anyway, as Patton's been eluded a feature win in this league for several years now, and been one of the fastest guys in the league.
Your front 2 are going to be 2 drivers looking for their first after they've just kind of snuck away. Orvis Newcomb on the pole, I do believe. And Ryan Patton going to be outside of him as we'll check the lineup here and make sure as we get them ready to put them on the racetrack here. The horn has been sent, and why don't you go ahead and start us off?
All right, 1 second here. All righty, on the pole out of Punxsutawney, PA. In the 66, we got Orvis Newcomb outside of him. Out of Brockway, Pennsylvania, in the 53P will be Ryan Patton.
Inside row number 2, that's going to be the 4U Junior, piloted by Earl Jackson in that tribute car. So that'll be Earl the Squirrel Jackson in that car. He is out of DuBois, Pennsylvania, and outside him in the 57T, that'll be the Mundurf Warrior, Todd Bailey out of Mundurf, Pennsylvania.
Inside row number 3, out of Clearfield, Pennsylvania. In the number 7, Cody Schultz outside of him. What is that rookie we just was talking about in the 57? He is out of Clearfield, PA. Colton Probst, 57C. Let me correct myself. There's 257. We got to keep them straight.
About inside row number 4. That's going to be the 29 machine. Has a feature win week number 1 at Houston. That's going to be Cody Buck. He's out of Phillipsburg, Pennsylvania. Outside him in the 1 machine. That's going to be Ryan Hallman out of Clearfield, Pennsylvania.
All right, inside the next row. My computer messed up for a second, but I'm good to go now. We've got the number 9, John Smeal, the rookie, out of DuBois. Outside him in the 74, out of West Lebanon, New York, will be Jeremy Priault.
Fire Meeks will end off your feature field here as Orvis Newcomb going to take us back to the green as we're going to light them for 75 laps. Here at Oswego, they'll fire off into turn number 1. 2 drivers looking to pick up their first feature win of the year here into turn number 1 side by side. Orvis Newcomb going to look like he's going to have that early advantage, but will leave a good amount of room there to the outside for the 53P. Side by side behind them, too. We're still 2 by 2. Top 4 under a blanket. Cody Schultz has that 5th place position all to himself right now. Ryan Patton going to inch his way to the lead here on the outside. That outside, as we mentioned there earlier, that berm pretty big right now. Seems to be working in the favor of the 53P right now, and now Orvis Newcomb maybe going to try and work his way up to that outside, but here comes the Mundurf Warrior on the outside out of turn number 4 trying to go to second. He's showing his colors here tonight. Might be the farthest he's been off front all year. Here comes Cody Schultz now. He'll throw it to the outside of the 4U Junior of Earl Jackson. Going to tuck back in line in 5th now. The Mundurf Warrior of Todd Bailey. He'll go to second now. Ryan Patton, your leader. Orvis Newcomb back to 3rd. And it's Earl Jackson, Cody Schultz, Colton Probst, Ryan Holman, and Cody Buck side by side for that behind them for that 7th place position. Now Colton Probe's going to go to work on the inside. He's going to try and go to 50. Close. Oh, there's a little bit of contact. Cody Schultz got on the binders there to try and leave a little bit of room. I tell you what, Cody Schultz is absolutely tearing the fence down here already. Here, 4 laps into this one. But Cody Schultz definitely was going to conserve his equipment there as kind of got a little tight there off that corner. And he'll get his feet back under him now as he comes under fire from Ryan Holman and Cody Buck now, though. But that 7 machine seems to be working pretty good on the outside. Now your battle for 3rd. That's the 4U Junior of Earl Jackson trying to look for the inside of the 66N. He'll peek a nose back to the inside into turn number 1. Colton Probes all over the back end of them. Off of turn number 2, here comes the 4U Junior. Earl Jackson. He'll throw it in side by side with Orvis Newcomb. There's the right rear up in front of him. Contact. Orvis Newcomb bounces there after that contact. He'll hold on to it, but he's going to lose 2 spots. So now Colton Probes up to that 4th place position. He's picking them off one by one here early in this one. Back at the front of the field, we got a pair of 50s, 53 and 57 here up at the front of the field, battling for that lead position right now. Off at turn number 4, Todd Bailey still in 2nd. Ryan Patton, your leader. 3rd is the 4U Junior of Earl Jackson. Colton Probes driving like a veteran right now, trying to put it on the podium here, maybe get a word with us up in the booth if he can hold on to it for another 70 laps.
Tell you what, Todd Bailey is putting the pressure on the back of Patton. I think Patton might be conserving his equipment a little bit. Everybody's got to remember this is 75 laps tonight.
Definitely a long race for these guys.
Yeah, Todd Bailey is not conserving nothing as he wants to take that lead.
Yeah, he is. He's going to jump to the outside here and try and get a handful of that cushion here as he works into turn number 3, trying to run off the back bumper of that 53. P-Machine will grab a handful off of turn number 4. He's going to pull side by side. Oh, a track specialty's caution. We're going to have a caution. Oh, no.
Yeah,
Earl Jackson on his side.
Oval Track Specialties caution. For who?
Earl Jackson on his side.
Earl Jackson on his side. Not good.
We'll take a look here.
Oh, he's sitting down there. That's not good.
Oh, he's going to have some contact from the other rookie. Colton Probes drives in there a little deep, catches the left rear quarter panel of the 4U Junior of Earl Jackson. Takes him the rest of the way around.
Nowhere to go.
Jeremy Brialt, as all the other cars split, slings it sideways and just tips the 4U Junior up on his side.
I'm sure that's going to put the 57C to the tail of the field. I mean,
he will go to the tail of the field right now. Call made there in by the flagman. Tough break for Earl Jackson, having one of his best races. Maybe take an early exit as he had to tow there. It didn't look like he had a lot of damage, but he's going to have to tow after being set on his side like that. And just Colton Probes trying to get in there a little harder than he needed to on lap 9, and that's just a rookie mistake there. You'll see. These guys are learning. And
you get these rookies, and they start getting fast, and they get excited, and sometimes one of the last things you learn is patience. That's hard. It's hard to learn that sometimes. And, we got 66 laps to go, and there's a lot of time to go there. So
pace truck is in, and
doing a good job.
Pace truck is in, and Earl Jackson is not going to be able to rejoin the field here as we go green. Ryan Patton turns us loose here out of turn number 4 into turn number 1 now. Side by side for that 2nd place position now. They're back up on the wheel. 57T did choose that outside line, and now Orby Newcomb's trying to make him pay for it on the bottom side. Here's Cody Buck. He's up to 4th after that restart. Cody Schultz on the inside of him. Out of turn number 4, they'll roll the bottom. Byron Meek still conserving on that very bottom lane right behind Cody Schultz now as he makes his way up through the field. Todd Bailey now has that 2nd place position, and Cody Buck trying to go to work on Norvis Newcomb for 3rd. He'll have it off of turn number 2. Cody Schultz, Ryan Holman side by side into turn number 3. Byron Meek steps to the outside right now. He's going to try and go around the outside of Cody Schultz. We'll see if this can close up here pretty quick. Cody Schultz leads in the lane down into turns 1 and 2. Excuse me. Cody Schultz now back to the bottom side of the 25M machine, and Byron Meek's now up to 6 from the tail. As we single file out at the front of the field, Ryan Patton, the only car really running that bottom lane, and I tell you what, you got to think he's saving more than all them other top 5 guys that are absolutely just tearing down the fence right now.
Oh, absolutely. And we both ran against Brian Patton in the Super Late Model Division there for a couple years, and he's a master at saving equipment. He always had as much or more tire than anybody at the end of a race, so Patton's really good at what he does when it comes to tire conservation.
As he continues to save on the bottom, Todd Bailey trying to get that momentum built up. He's looking there. He's gonna. Ryan Patton still has him by half a catch. Whisker here out of turn number 4. Ryan Patton on the bottom. 57-tier. Todd Bailey, good run. He's gonna try and pick a nose. And I tell you what, Ryan Patton's giving him a lane. He's giving him a lane, telling him, come on around me. I'm running right where I want to be. And out of turn number 2, Todd Bailey trying to grab a handful of that cushion and go to the outside. Not yet. Ryan Patton's got a good car on the bottom right now.
Patton's a pretty smart driver. He understands that top's just going to keep moving up, and it's actually going to go away. If I remember last week, there the bottom was pretty much a predominant line towards the end of the race, but I think he's going to try to take advantage of it while it's still there, though.
Todd Bailey, he got the run there that time, and Cody Buck is trying to follow through with them out of turn number 2. Now your leader is Todd Bailey into turn number 1. Cody Buck trying to go to second on the outside of him. We are only working laps 17 and 75 right now, so plenty of time left for Ryan Patton to try and save a little bit of equipment. There's a slide job behind, and now Byron Meeks is up to 4th. Byron Meeks to 4th.
Last week, Tyler. This is what he did last week.
Picking them off one by one.
Picking them off one by one. Nothing fancy, but by the end of that race, who was up front? 25.
Right now, he sees the top 3 in front of him as he runs solely in that 4th place position. Ryan Hallman running in 5th. Cody Buck now trying to put the pressure on the 57T now. Into turns 1 and 2. Ryan Patton, he's going to step up to the outside and try and stay with these boys. Cody Buck out of turn number 2, trying to peek a nose to the inside, not quite yet. Into turn number 3. Todd Bailey controls the pace right now. Here comes Cody Buck trying to look back to the inside out of turn number 4. Not yet. They'll bounce for the hole down the straightaway. Cody Buck takes a peek to the inside. Into turn number 1. They'll be wheel to wheel here out of turn number 2. Out of turn number 2, they'll bounce to the holes. Cody Buck, not quick and heavy. Here comes a there's a right rear from Cody Buck. Huge right rear from Cody Buck. Just slid it right into his left front tire. How is the Munder Porter going to think about that? What is he going to think there?
I mean, if it was me, I'd probably repay the favor, but that's me.
We'll see what the 57T thinks here. Is he's going to try and run him back down there. Cody Buck kind of looked like he was going to throw a slider and then just decided to kind of not, and that allowed him to just kind of just laid that right rear on him and moved him out of the way. And now behind them, there's a battle for 3rd. Byron Meeks has got a fast car once again here tonight as he works on the outside of Ryan Patton now. Side by side for 3rd, Byron Meeks. After coming from the rear, he will go to 3rd now off of turn number 4. How much tire does he have, though? That's going to be the question at the end of this 75 lappers. We work lap 23 now. Up at the front of the field now, Cody Buck trying to run away from his problems in the 57T. You got to think if there's a caution here, you don't want that 57T to be behind it because he has got to. He's not going to forget something like that when he was leading his first lap so far this season.
No, he's definitely not. He'll put that in the back of his mind and it'll stay there.
Definitely will, but that cushion is becoming razor thin. They're up right up on the wall now. And I tell you what, a guy running 3rd though, who's on the bottom, Byron Meeks, just creeping right now on that bottom side, looking for a little bit of grip there. Off of turn number 2, he'll still run 3rd, and I tell you what, the car looks pretty good. Cody Buck is absolutely abusing the right rear of that car. I tell you what, Cody Buck faded late in the last time. Is that going to be another story here tonight?
Well, it could be, because he definitely did fade about.
John Smeal at the bottom of the race.
He ran, 60 laps last week, I believe. And he faded with 15 or 20 laps to go, so not sure if he thought about that because we got an extra 10 laps or 15 laps tonight, so we're going to see. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Definitely going to be interesting. As you saw there, John Smeal going to go a lap down. Earl Jackson also out of the race in that 4U tribute car. Unfortunate turn of events for him in that machine. hasn't had the best luck so far this year, but we hope to see him continue to come out and, you know, put himself in that position to win like he was tonight. But as we say that, we got a battle heating up at the front of the field right now. Byron Meeks running around that bottom, trying to make that run. Off of turn number 4. Cody Buck, your leader. Second place is the Mundurf Warrior of Todd Bailey. Here comes Byron Meeks. Let's ride along here with Byron Meeks as he rolls this bottom. You can hear the throttle control as he's trying to get to the inside of that 57T machine as they bounce from the holes down the straightaway. Now he's going to pull up alongside of the 57T for that second place position. It's going to heat up here at the front of the field. Byron Meeks trying to go for 3 in a row here tonight in that 25M machine as Cody Buck continues to abuse the fence here. Out of turn number 4, he still leads here. 57T of Todd Bailey might have already started to use up that right rear as now the 25M machine has that position. Ever so consistent on the bottom, but here comes the 57T. He doesn't want to back down off that outside berm. We'll drive back up to that outside cushion, but it's becoming ever so razor thin. As you said here, Oswego gets close to that wall, but man, I don't even know who had it at the line there.
Pirate's car really cuts well off of turn number 2 and he's able to keep momentum. But looks like Bailey's car just a little bit better through 3 and 4. He's always able to get back up beside him, and Meeks just can't complete the pass through 3 and 4.
I tell you what, that right there, he gained half a car length down that straightaway, and you could see on your screen there, he really got a great bite of that cushion. That cushion really built up, and these shorter quarter panels on these modifieds allows him to get right up to the wall just like that and try and get a big run here off of turn number 4. Todd Bailey trying to go back around him. He'll have him by half a cat's whisker at the line. The ever so consistency on the bottom by the 25M machine is what's going to win him this race if he can hold on to that grip down there. Side by side, these guys. Great race here right now. Todd Bailey back up to that cushion. He'll grab a handful off of turn number 4, but Byron Meeks found something there. He'll have him by a car length into turn number 1. Now he'll slide up across the racetrack a little bit. Make him check up here out of turn number 2. Byron Meeks now runs second.
Byron Meeks is also, we ran many races with him in the super late division. Also a very experienced driver. He is smart. Knows a lot about these long races. Sometimes can make a mistake or two during a race, but it seems like these modifieds, he's almost flawless in them, and he knows a lot about setting cars up too. As he is Michael Lake's in real life crew chief on Bobby Lake Motorsports, and the in real life the 27 of Michael Lake. So a lot of talent there in that 25, and it's looking like he's starting to pull away and starting to reel in that leader.
Yeah, he is. As he continues to reel in that 29 machine of Cody Buck, running 4th right now. He's not let him out of their sight. Is the 53P.
Oh, Buck in the wall. Buck's in the wall.
Buck in the wall. Still in the wall. As soon as we take a peek away, and that is what it took for Byron Meeks to propel himself to the lead. Is anybody going to have anything to go against him now?
Buck just went up over that cushion and planted himself right in the wall. I'm surprised that car's still driving around there. He hit it pretty hard.
Did not get a chance to take a look at that. We'll have to keep that in our pocketbook to try and go back and take a look at that pass for the lead. I thought maybe we were going to have a second to talk about the rest of the drivers in the field, but we'll have to keep it glued up front here now. As now that battle for the lead is switched over as we missed that pass. But Byron Meeks, your leader, over Cody Buck now, able to hold on to it and continue to run second. Todd Bailey in 3rd. Ryan Patton. Ryan Holman good run in 5th right now. And it's Cody Schultz running 6th right now. Wervis Newcomb, Jeremy Brialt, Colton Probst. That is your field as they run right now. pull away too much right now. He's got a little bit of a gap on him, but he continues to run that outside berm now, maybe a little bit more determined to make that ground up. Down the back straight.
That car is still handling his way it is, because he really collected the ball. I was watching him live when it happened. He grabbed a handful of it. I'll tell you that.
These big block modifieds are way tougher than the late models, it seems. It's weird. I tell you what, it definitely got to be tougher, because that guy touched another car's quarter panel, and there went my right front tire. So
they're 100% tough, no doubt about it.
Definitely a little bit tougher, which helps these drivers out to keep them in the hunt here after a little bit of contact with the wall. Cody Buck is on that razor thin edge right up on the berm there. I'll tell you what, guys, these top two are really even, it appears. Because now Byron Meeks is going to step up to the outside.
They definitely are pretty even. I thought for a minute that Tom Bailey and Ryan Patton were starting to close the gap to try to make it a 4-car battle, but looks like they stepped their game up there and starting to pull away again.
Now that 25M has decided to abandon the bottom.
Oh, God, Bailey in the wall.
Just caught the tail end of that, and that's going to let Ryan Patton move up into that podium position. Like we said, is the cars going to start to drop off that have been using that outside? We're getting ready to start to be 2/3 of the way through this as we're starting to work lap 50 here. Could we start to see them cars fall off? And is Ryan Patton hoping for a caution to put himself back in striking distance?
Patton's really good driver through the slick. He may need a caution to make a run at these guys, but I have a feeling that if there is a caution, he'll have something for him. It looks to me like eyeball test says he might be just starting to either even out or close the gap.
Definitely has a good car on him right now, running in that third place position, and he hasn't left that bottom side. That 25M has now left the bottom in 3 and 4, and is that something that Patton's has a little bit more figured out right now, or is that a helping Byron Meeks trying to pull away right now? Byron Meeks ever so smooth driving the car in straight, let the car do its job really on that outside, and then back to the bottom. Definitely takes a lot of discipline to run 2 corners different. And he's doing.
Byron Meeks always been really well on the bigger racetracks too, even when he ran the Super Late division. So this being a bigger racetrack definitely plays into his advantage.
Yeah, definitely playing into his advantage. He didn't struggle at Houston. Got one of the feature wins there, but like we said, that kind of came down to a thing there where he was, fast and had to. Cody Buck back in the wall there. He'll be able to hold on to it, but like I was saying, where just in the position and was able to have luck on his side to get that win, but really wasn't dominant like his car seems to be right now on this bigger track here at Las Vegas.
Yeah, he's definitely opened the gap back up, and he's right on that razor thin edge up there, though, in 3 and 4. Doing a heck of a job, because, one little mistake, and that's all it's going to take, and he'll be into that wall. As Patton continues to run there on that bottom side. And these guys are, like you said, though, these cars seem to be tough. They take a beating pretty well. You're able to get in the wall a little bit and not really seem to tear your equipment up too bad.
Definitely really don't tear it up. These late models, as we've seen, you touch the wall, that right front kind of just wants to come off at random times, and these things, man, they just don't. They're just tough. You catch the fence there, and even if you see a little bit more camber, it really doesn't affect the overall handling of the race.
Yeah, they got that solid axle front ends on these, and there's a lot more beef to them. Late models are a little more intricate, a little more delicate. Don't get me wrong, they hit this wall too hard. It's definitely going to affect them.
From what we've seen, not only does it affect them, it kind of ejects them from the ballpark. So we'll see if anybody does that. But now Byron Meeks has a little lap traffic in his front windshield here. That's the 57C of Colton Probes. Having a little trouble recovering from that earlier contact there, and that's just something, track position, such a big thing, and got put to the back there and hasn't been able to make any moves towards the front of the field right now as he continues to run in that 8th place position. Jeremy Bree also has brought her in here tonight. John Smeal along with him. So Colton Probes, your last car on the lead lap right now. Byron Meeks trying to work to him. He's got a lot of breathing room now. As you said, he's really just continuing to stretch that lead out, and he's looking like he's in a good position to maybe get 3 in a row here. It's just got to depend if he can work his way around this lap traffic. Out of turn number 2, a little bit of a squirrel there. A little squirrely there from the 57C, excuse me. Good move there, though. Big cut down there for Byron Meeks. Shows him the nose and powers by him down the front straightaway. Really set that move up well to know that he could get his nose in front of the 57. There's the oval track special. He's yellow.
Oval track special yellow as
Todd Bailey.
The race for second place was just about to heat up, too, as Ryan Patton had closed the gap. So maybe Patton has something. This is what he needed. Things could get dicey here as we're down to 22 laps to... No. I'm sorry. I'm going 85 laps. We got 12 laps to go.
Looks like that one's going to be on Todd Bailey. Just kind of got over the cushion there, and we're at Oswego here. You catch that wall, and if you go over, the car just, as you can see on stream here, you see the sparks, and he must have rode the wall and up over the wall, and that took him instantly pit side.
Well, that definitely changes everything right now. We're going to bunch them up. We are still over 10 to go, so we are going to have a Delaware double file restart.
While we're here, we'll go back and take a look at that what we missed there. Cody Buck catching the fence here. We'll ride behind him here and see what happened in turns 3 and 4 to let Byron Meeks get to the lead here tonight. Gets in there and just gets a little... Oh, he caught that opening there, and yeah, definitely hard in the wall there, and got squirrely off the corner and let Byron Meeks power by. That's something you see even happen in these late models. There's a very small little pit opening here, and you catch that, and he... usually you can just brush this wall and it won't hurt you, and right there, if you hit it there, you catch that, and it catches you a little harder, and threw him back into the wall, and like you said, that's a pretty hard hit there for the 29 machine. But Pace Truck looking to go off here. 57T making his way back out trackside here. This bunches them up. Trying to go for 3 in a row. That's Byron Meeks on the pole, leading them back to the green. Cody Buck. Ryan Patton's been saving his stuff all night. Does he have anything worth bringing out of turn number 4? Instantly, Ryan Patton, more grip. He'll go to second down the front straightaway. Into turns 1 and 2. Ryan Patton will creep around the bottom side. Byron Meeks up through the middle. On the outside, here comes Cody Buck trying to get a big run. Not going to happen. Ryan Patton. He runs second now. Cody Buck in that 3rd place position. Ryan Holman in 4th. Orby Newcomb behind him.
It's a little too low. It has to check up.
That let Cody Buck get back to his outside here. Is that going to take away that arc that he needed here to maybe try and run down that 25M machine? Byron Meeks did catch the wall there a little bit, but he's able to recover well there in that 25M machine as he's already pulling away now. As Ryan Patton and Cody Buck battle behind him, Byron Meeks smiling ear to ear to know that if he knew that was happening. Down the back straightaway, we continue to have a great battle for second right now. Cody Buck on that outside lane. Ryan Patton, that wheel is just grazing that inside Jersey barrier. He has him by half a catch whisker into turn number 1. Ryan Patton drives that car in there very straight, gets it turned off the corner, Trying to put all the power to the ground he can. Cody Buck powers back around with that outside momentum. Now Ryan Patton's going to scoot through the middle. Can he get himself back down to that bottom side grip? Out of turn number 4. Cody Buck now runs second. Does he have anything for the 25M running out of time in the hourglass? Here comes Ryan Patton back to the bottom. I think Ryan Patton really likes that arc, but he can't quite have it when he gets to the inside of the 29 machine. Into turns 3 and 4. Ryan Patton on the bottom. Byron Meeks trying to run away with it. Great race behind them. 3-car battle, but we stay glued at the front of the field. Side by side for second. Byron Meeks not running away yet. But is there enough time if somebody can catch him here? You need a mistake out of the 25M, and we haven't seen one all night. Out of turn number 4.
Oh, Cody Schultz.
Cody Schultz in the wall. He'll hold on to it, though. We'll stay clean and green. Out of turn number 2. Ryan Patton right on the bottom. Cody Buck still banging the boards on the outside, trying to hold on to it. Ryan Patton scoots back around that bottom side. Oh, he catches the inside wall, and that's going to let Cody Buck take that spot. And that might have been all that the 25M needed. I don't know if Cody Buck can get up on the horse here and make something happen or not. There's an overtrack specialist caution.
Track specialist caution. What happened?
Cody Schultz back in the wall.
Oh, he's head on into the wall. Not good.
Oh, I'm going to assume that's a mechanical failure. I don't know what happened there. Cody Schultz gets into turn number 1, and it's almost like the just went around on him, or almost looked like the brakes kind of went locked up on him, and that car went around abruptly. I'd have to think that's some sort of mechanical failure. Maybe something froze up on him there for just a second. He'll rocking himself into the pits now to try and get maybe some repairs here for this final 4-lap dash. So does this give any chance to the drivers behind the 25M? Cody Buck. Got to get a good restart. Ryan Patton was rolling the bottom, but does he have enough? Ryan Holman in 4th. Rounding out your top 5 right now is the 66N machine. Pace truck's going to look to duck off here. Is Cody Schultz going to be able to rejoin the field? Yes, he will. He'll rejoin on the back straightaway here. As we get ready to turn him back loose here. Here we go. All up on the berm as we get ready to fire. Fire makes him fire. Ryan Patton right on the tail of Cody Buck. Cody Buck didn't quite get as good of a restart as he might have wanted here. As we'll go side by side, wheel to wheel. Ryan Patton, the only car that's going to drop to the bottom side. He looks to the inside for second. Ryan Holman behind them. Into turns 3 and 4. Up the racetrack through the middle goes Ryan Patton. Cody Buck, Ryan Holman, they're all still banging the boards on the outside. Byron Meeks, your leader, trying to go for the 3-peat here tonight. Now Ryan Patton, back to the inside. Does he throw a slide job here into this corner? Nope, he woes it down and he rolls that bottom side. He's liking where he's at. Byron Meeks right ahead of him, but are we running out of time? We've got two to go. 2 laps to go here. Can Ryan Patton catch the 25M machine and get his feature win here tonight? He'll clear Cody Buck. Into turns 3 and 4. White flag in here one more time around. We got the Scale Racing Designs. White flag. 1 to go for Byron Meeks to get the 3-peat. Can Ryan Patton run him down? He's got a decent amount of ground to make up. Cody Buck looks back to the outside now. Out of turn number 2. There's a big gap. I'm not sure if Ryan Patton's close enough. Into turns 3 and 4. Byron Meeks will run the bottom, and he's going to 3-peat here tonight. He'll go 3 wins here in a row in the 25M. He'll win the 75 lap at Oswego. Ryan Patton second, Cody Buck third. And I do believe we have Ryan Hallman, Orvis Newcomb.
Yep. Hallman inches out. Newcomb at the line.
Cody Schultz gets back up for a 6th place position. Over Colt Probst, Todd Bailey, Jeremy Brialt, John Smeal, and Earl Jackson. Your finishing order. As these drivers will make their way to the front row.
Brialt and Smeal and Jackson tonight. Hate to see that for them guys. Hopefully they get it all fixed up and be back for next week. As once again, Byron Meeks is making a habit out of being your Newcomb Automotive hard charger of the race, as he came from dead last to win 3. Is this 3 in a row?
That's 3 in a row. He won at Huset's,
3 in a row.
1 at Oswego last week, and then 1 here tonight to make it 3 in a row.
We've got podium finishers is pretty much staying these 3 guys.
So like you said, Newcomb Automotive hard charger of the race. Got to be Byron Meeks once again. A lot of cars in and out of the Elevated Outdoors hot pit tonight. Cody Schultz, one of them, came out, went in there late, come out, did finish in the 6th place position though, so not a bad run for him overall.
Now, well, we got 2 cars sitting down there.
All 3 are there.
But congratulations on the win again for Byron Meeks on the KDJ Edge Designs Big Block Modifies. As we're gonna,
as he is in the booth
get a
with
word
us.
with him. Byron Meeks, 3 in a row. You're on fire right now. You got that car dialed in. Congratulations on another win. It was a good race. You was patient once again. Worked your way up through the field, and once you got out front there, you pretty much set sail, as you kept a pretty good gap between you and your 2nd place guy most of the night.
Yeah, the car was pretty good. I felt like I burned up my right rear there at the beginning of the race, about halfway through, and I just knew I had to slow myself down towards the end.
Well, you didn't slow her down too much, because those guys, they couldn't get to you there. You were able to hold them off pretty much all night. As you got a here at Oswego, you seem like you got a really good car. Car's balanced well. You're able to keep the tires under it good enough, a little better than the rest of them, and you drove yourself to win. But we're off to a different racetrack next week. Any thoughts on the race itself?
No, it was fun working through the field, and everyone was pretty much clean side by side. I know at one point we was 3 wide coming down the front stretch. It got a little scary, but we all made it work, and it was fun.
Yeah, you did a really good job there, man, and congratulations. And I know you're going to go next week trying to make it 4 in a row. I do believe if I remember right, we're all headed to Lernerville. All 3 divisions headed for our first special of the year. So good luck there at Lernerville next week. Who would you like to thank?
I'd like to thank you guys for putting this on every week still. It's a blast, and, Nick for the wrap, and, the track being pretty good all night.
All right, Byron, well, we'll see you next week. Congratulations once again, and we'll talk to you and maybe back in Victory Lane next week or on the podium.
Thank you.
Ryan Patton.
Hi.
You are the guy that is going to get a win. There's no doubt about it. You're right there every week. It's just a matter of time, man. I know you're tired of hearing that. But another good race. You was one of the guys that was committed on the bottom all night long. As everybody else was ripping the top, I thought maybe they would knock the top off and you would be there at the end, but it just seemed like the top never completely went away to set yourself up for a win tonight. But a good 2nd place finish.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what happened. I was hoping the top was going to go away more than it did last week, and I just wanted to be down there whenever it did start to go away before everybody knew.
Yeah, this tracks they're different every week. And last week, it's the top went away way quicker than tonight, and I think it built a cushion or ledge up there on there, and it never really completely went away. And I just went against what you had going on there, but you were still fast tonight and had a good car down there. But second place is nothing to sneeze at, and congratulations on your second place.
Thanks.
Who would you like to thank?
Obviously you guys for doing this every week. Nick Anderson and Highline Designs for the wrap, and all these guys for making every Tuesday awesome. Clean racing, fun racing, always something to look forward to.
We definitely appreciate you. We know that you've had to schedule vacation just to make these races. You're dedicated to this league, and we appreciate that you're dedicated like that. And maybe we'll be talking to you one spot higher next week at Lernerville.
Buddy, I hope so.
Well, good luck.
Thank
Rounding
you.
out our podium, we got Cody Buck with a third place finish. He was led some laps, got into a couple tussles out there, but was able to keep the car straight enough to come home in third place tonight.
Thank you.
What did you think about the race tonight? Anything you would like to talk about?
I felt the race was really good. I want to apologize to Todd there. I thought he was up a little higher. He wasn't trying to slide all the way up. I was trying to give him enough room there, but I didn't, I guess. And Oswego's my kryptonite. That wall gets me every time.
Well, it's definitely a razor thin line out there, and it's it's a game of inches out there. So it's if you're out there playing for 85 laps straight, once in a while you might just come up a little bit short. But I mean, the car was able to stay together. You were able to come out home in third place. It keeps you in the points race, and we're off to a different track next week. So congratulations on third place. Who would you like to thank?
You guys for putting this on every week. It's always a pleasure to come race here. It's always good, clean racing all the way through the field. And my wife for letting me do this every Tuesday night. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be racing right now.
Well, we appreciate you showing up every week, and you're doing a good job this year. You're in a tight points battle with a couple of the other guys, and we'll see you at Lernerville.
Thank you. See you there.
All right, Tyler, that pretty much wraps up our big block KDJ Etch Design big blocks tonight, and we're getting ready to take a brief intermission and get ready to round our night off with the Pro Late Division with our line design.
Yeah, definitely some of the best, I would say, some of the best racing all night. Going to be at the tail end of the card here tonight with the Highline Designs Pro Late Model Division, so you definitely don't want to go anywhere. If you have to lay down, but don't want to miss out on this one, so make sure you stay tuned in. We're going to take a brief intermission here, get this race on its way, get these guys pulled in to Volusia here tonight, and we're going to go another 75 laps here in just a minute.
Stay tuned.
Alrighty. Here we are with the KD, or excuse me, not with the KDJS Designs Big Block Modifieds, but the Highline Designs Pro Late Models on track here at Volusia here tonight. And a car that you weren't, was pretty quick last week in practice, and maybe faded a little bit, but quick time right now in hot laps. Kirk Hess.
Once again, Kirk Hess. Yeah, he texted me last week after that race and said a few choice words about his driving, and I said, hey man, things happen. I mean, he just says he screwed up himself, and I think he's got a pretty good hot rod. We'll just see if he keeps himself together here tonight.
There's last week's feature winner on your screen in the 116 of Mike Anderson. Great run for him last week. Ran around in the back pretty much all night. Got the car under him there when the last, 20, 25 laps, and really came alive and picked up a feature win there. I'm sure that'll be he'll have a similar strategy starting in the back here tonight. But good field of cars here tonight. Justin Diltz of White Shadow back with us here tonight, it appears.
Yeah, missed last week because he had a baby. Him and his wife had a baby, and he's a brand new dad, so maybe he's going to try to win one for the newborn tonight. I don't know, but Justin Diltz, White Shadow, good to have him back.
Good to have the White Shadow back, and that is he's got a new reason to be out there, looking, making his kid proud in that 91 machine.
That's
Racing's
right.
there with another car that's been pretty fast this year. All three of them cars are looking pretty sporty here tonight. That is going to be Kirk Hess behind Justin Diltz, and in front of him is Dave Riesinger, who right now is fourth quick here in hot laps. Third quick, Nathan Brady, a little bit better car maybe under him here tonight in that 77 machine. Talking about this week trying to get that car just a little bit, just a hair better than it was, in previous weeks. There's Jonathan Smeal, second quick right now in that 13 machine.
Yeah, we talk about how everybody's so equal nowadays, and how competitive this is. And if you just take a look, Justin Diltz misses a week, and there he is sitting the bottom of the board right now for times. I mean, he's not way off the pace, but just that little bit makes a difference.
A little bit of track time even last. These guys have a notebook, and you show up just for for night two of your race, and it can really really change what you have under the seat. That notebook means a lot.
100%. Just talking for myself last week in our super late race there in Lucas, I ran last most of the race, was able to get a couple spots at the very end, but pretty much was no contention whatsoever, and I went back to the notebook and made some changes, and tonight was able to run in the top 5 all night, pull out a fourth place finish, and never lost sight of the leaders. So it was a big gains, and I'll tell you what, man, it's so competitive. I mean, we're down to hundreds of seconds, and it's just trying to find every little thing you can get. And if you're off a little bit, you're out to lunch right now.
Looking back at it on even the seat time there, last week notebook was good, car was good, and didn't really know exactly where you needed to be at the beginning. And this week I knew I needed to drop to the bottom, and was working my way up to where I needed to be, and that was working for me. And you just learn that when do you want to move up to that middle lane like we had to last week, and got up there. But unfortunately, we're going to call it a mechanical failure in that right front, because I think that spindle was cut by another driver maybe or something.
I did see Michael. I saw Michael Lake down there with the hacksaw.
Michael Lake might have been in the Rougy pit there. Might have done a little hacking on that top A-arm. I don't know. I don't want to point fingers. We're all trying to have a good time. But, when I'm thinking that hacksaw, and then, leading the race, I think it worked out for him. That quarter panel might have been a little stiffer than it needed to be. But that's here nor there. That race is over, and I'm not going to point fingers. But
definitely not going to point fingers.
Let's just hope Blake doesn't catch me down in his pit with a hacksaw here. Come next week at Lernerville.
I was thinking the same thing. I mean, I got about 3 or 4 guys I need to go in their pit, so maybe I can get to talk to somebody on top of the podium myself. But hey,
back row powder coating Victor.
What happens in the pits stays in the pits.
100%. I'm not going to point the finger at Michael Lake, even though, he's I can't see him right now, but I bet he's looking pretty guilty. But no, all funny games here and good racing all so far all night, and it continues to make this points battle just a little bit more intense, Nick Anderson had a mechanical failure, and, thought this was going to be my night to gain some points, and, well, I decided to go ahead and junk myself. So, part of it. And really going to bring this to a very close points battle, as we're only getting close to being about a quarter of the way through the year. So, and these points are already fluctuating from different leaders. And I tell you what, it's funny. It just shows you what consistency can do. And Rod Meredith, our point leader in the super late models, not a feature win on the season. So, Michael Lake had a bad first week, and then Nick won by a large amount, and then he had to come from the back, didn't have the best week. Lake was able to pick up the win, and I was able to run second, and then this week, or the last week, just everybody has their night, and that's really been a part of this in all three classes, I think, Dad, is who has their night and who doesn't.
100%. And this Pro League division, it's just something else. You can toss a coin. Toss a coin who's going to be tonight's feature winner, because you just don't know.
How about toss a dice?
I'm telling you, it's you just don't know. There's so many possibilities. You look at last week's feature winner right now. He sets like 8th on the leaderboard for lap times right now. You just don't know. And Kirk Cass up on the top. You got John Smeal, he's consistently fast every week in the top 3. He is a contender to win week in and week out, but has won one of these so far. Is just you don't know, and that's what makes the Pro League division probably the most competitive of all 3 of our divisions right now. And we were just talking about that, as I think we got good racing in all of our classes, but this one here has got to be the most competitive overall.
Definitely the most competitive. These guys are just so close, and they're all fighting. They're all fighting to have that little bit of glory to move up to the next class in front of them. And like you said, you take your 12-sided dice and roll it, and you give everybody a number, and you have a pretty good chance of being right. About as much of a chance as if you took an estimated guess, because even your rookie here on screen right now, Dennis Harrison III. He was running up front last week. Finished in that 3rd place position.
100%. 100%. I wouldn't count him out of getting a feature win this year. That's for sure.
Yeah, he was honestly looked like maybe was struggling, was going to have to adapt, and then come out at Volusia last week swinging in that 42H machine. So let's see if maybe he's like we said, going to the notebook here, and maybe has a car that's going to hold up a little bit longer for him. And you can already see him here in practice. The way he's able to run that car runs way up on the flat is something that, heck, I don't really think I've been able to find speed doing. So.
No, behind him right now in that 98 is Larry Hesse. They were the ones that were the show last week in the first half of the race, and Hesse's car kind of fell off about halfway point, so hopefully he went to the notebook and maybe he made some adjustments for the long run here tonight. But those 2 guys were stealing the show the first half, and Mike Anderson was the show at the end, so you just never know. You
never know, and that's why this is just, I'm just glad to be in the booth and announce and talk about the racing these guys. As a avid late model lover, it's awesome to watch these guys go around here and battle tooth and nail.
100%. It's been a pleasure being up here in the box, and and being able to interview the top 3, and
just hope everybody at home enjoys it as much as we enjoy being up here. I know I have a blast. I always said, which this is going to come off cocky, but it doesn't mean is that if I was a terrible race car driver, I would have quit and just been an announcer. But unfortunately, I was a decent steering wheel holder, and so. But just the love for the sport really brings it out when it comes to announcing too.
Now all you got to worry about is if you ever run out of money, you can just put the steering wheel down,
hang it up,
and take up announcing. That's right.
I'll show them these videos of these races and be like, "Come on, guys, give me a shot here."
All right, we are down to 5 seconds remaining. Our testing session is about over, and we're getting ready to get some heat races underway here tonight in our Highline Designs Pro Late Models.
There is the checkered flag, so we will see how the pill draw shakes out here tonight.
We're going to see if we get a different winner here in the back row powder coat and victory lane tonight. A lot of different winners, but we're getting ready to go heat race action.
Track still looks pretty heavy here for heat race action. There's a guy who had a little bit of trouble in his heat race here last week. It would be comical if he was around the 77 machine. We'll have to wait and see here. I do believe Nathan Brady's going to be in the other heat race, unfortunately. That would have been pretty comical. But let's, Action Jackson got his car back together, and hopefully, probably hoping he's not on his roof here at the end of this one.
How about it? As I'm going to start us off here on the poll. Last week's feature winner, he is out of DuBois, Pennsylvania, the 116, Mike Anderson. Outside of him, out of Grampian, we were just talking about him in the number 80J, Action Jackson, Kevin Jackson.
Inside row number 2, not quite gridded yet, but scheduled to be the 91 machine.
3 seconds, 2 seconds. What? Oh, man, he missed the grid. Not good.
So Justin Diltz, the White Shadow, might have had to care to the infant. And is not going to make the grid here for heat race number 1 with the Highline Designs Pro Late Models. So we'll reset here, and that'll be the 98 machine now moving up into the 3rd place starting position now out of Clearfield, Pennsylvania, Larry Hess. Outside him in the 46 machine, that's going to be another Hess. That's going to be quick time in hot laps. That'll be the 46 machine of Kirk Hess, also out of Clearfield, Pennsylvania.
Little Hess on Hess havoc out there in that 2nd row. And rounding out your field out of DuBois, Pennsylvania, in the 72 will be Dave Riesinger.
As you said, we could have some Hess havoc, and something that we're not going to be able to see this year in the Pro Late models is going to be the Anderson Antics, but
yeah,
no show for Nolan this week with the Super Lates, but maybe we can get him back and have a little bit of Anderson Antics fun between the brothers there. But Mike Anderson...
We don't talk about the Rougi on Rougi stuff. We don't talk about that.
Rougi on Rougi violence.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Luckily, has been to a minimum lately, but that is, that is always subject to change.
Friends. We've stayed friends.
We've been friendly on the racetrack, we get, we give an inch, other than whenever he kind of gave me the door here just a few hours ago in that super late race, but I kept my cool. That's right, I wouldn't have a comment either. We're getting ready to turn them loose here, Highline Designs Pro Late Models. We're going to put the fire under the hoods of these 358s out of turn number 4. Green flag here at Volusia. Action Jackson, he'll go up to the cushion on the outside of Larry Hess and Mike Anderson. Huge push for Action Jackson. Wow, he grabbed. Luckily, hit that right front off of that cushion, and he'll stay in 2nd right now. He's got another push here. See if he can get it turned. Last week's feature winner, Mike Anderson, your leader, but he will have to go to the tail no matter where he finishes. So right now, you see your battle fighting for the pole. Right now, it's still Action Jackson out of turn number 2. He fires. Gets a great run there on the outside. Now we're 3 wide for 2nd. 3 wide for 2nd. Here comes Kirk Hess. Hess on Hess havoc.
Hess on Hess.
Hess on Hess. Havoc between the Hesses. Kirk Hess had to cut the car off, and Larry Hess was on his inside, and contact was made there. There's a little bit of a bump on the left side door of Kirk Hess. That's going to set back the 98 machine of Larry Hess behind Dave Riesinger. Action Jackson still running in that 2nd place position behind Mike Anderson. Into turns 3 and 4. If Action Jackson can hold where he's at, he'll start pole of this feature. Right now, running in that 2nd place, Kirk Hess maybe wants one position better to put himself on the pole. All these drivers have good car here tonight. Mike Anderson, your leader, trying to get 3 points towards the good for him here out of turn number 4. Mike Anderson still your leader in that 116. But I tell you what, Action Jackson not going away. He's going to jump the berm a little bit there. He'll get it turned, though, down the back straightaway.
Action Jackson, this is a good run for him in the 80J as he's not letting Mike Anderson get away.
No, he's not. Kirk Hess right on his tail feathers, though, as we work into turns 1 and 2. Out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. I tell you what, real smooth race right now for the 80J machine of Action Jackson. Can he keep the car under him, though? White flag one more time around. We got the Spiel Racing Designs white flag into turn number 1. Mike Anderson trying to pick up a heat race win here in that 116. He's pulling a really good, smart slider line right now. Let's see if maybe Kurt Cass has something for Action Jackson here down into turns 3 and 4. Nothing has anything for Mike Anderson. No, Mike Anderson wins heat race number 1. Second goes to Action Jackson. Third will be Kurt Cass. Then we have Dave Riesinger and Larry Hass will round out your field.
Good race for Action Jackson. You got to put him on the pole. I think that's his first ever pole in a feature event.
Pole. And I tell you what, he ran a great race there. Quick time in hot laps. Kurt Cass behind him. Couldn't do nothing with him there. But alrighty. We got heat race 2 for the Highline Designs Pro Late Models on the front straightaway here. On the pole into 1 star. That's going to be Colton Joyner. Colton Joyner out of Du Bois, Pennsylvania. Outside of him in the 42H, that'll be Dennis Harrison III. He's out of Allegheny, New York.
Inside your second row out of Reynoldsville, Pennsylvania in the 13, we got John Smeal outside of him out of Hyde, PA in the 77, Nathan Brady.
Rounding out your field in the 157 out of Kerwinsville, Pennsylvania, that'll be David McGovern.
Colton Joyner is another one of them guys that is a dark horse that had last year won a couple features. You never know when he's going to have a strong night. So this pro late division, you just never know.
You never know. Coming off a third place finish in that 42H, Dennis Harrison III. A rookie, Nathan Brady, like we said, was 4th quick there in hot laps. Jonathan Smeal, your point leader. Good field here for heat race number 2 with the Highline Designs Pro Late Models. A driver we are missing tonight, who actually has a feature win with us, Mike Maurer, I do not believe, in the pit area. So, missing him in the 29 machine. That was week 1's feature winner. I'm not sure if maybe a little bit of that contact with Dave McGovern last week, if maybe couldn't get the car back together. We'll see, though. Not here tonight. Green flag. Colton Joyner fires down into turns 1 and 2. Good, tight racing down into turns 1 and 2. Jonathan Smeal tries to tiptoe right around the bottom. We're 3 wide for the lead down the back straightaway. Into turns 3 and 4. Colton Joyner in the middle. Dennis Harrison on the outside. We're still 3 wide. It's now Nathan Brady takes a peek. Oh, the wreck it again. Oh, no. Colton Joyner for the second heat race in a row. We're going to need a caution. We're going to need a caution. We're going to need a caution. Flagman did not catch that caution flag. Luckily, I was able to throw it before the leaders got back around to him. But, missed caution flag there by the flagman, but we do definitely have a caution on the speedway for that incident that you just saw on your screen there just a second ago. We'll take another look at it here. Just good 3 wide racing. You got to go on these 8-lap heat races. Nathan Brady just, kind of follows Dennis Harrison, and Colton Joyner just, just one of them things where you don't know the guys out there, but, Nathan Brady has to put his nose there, and Colton Joyner crowds into the wall there, and just a racing incident. Nathan Brady involved.
That's all right. Nathan Brady did no fault there. But neither did Colton Joyner, as he just assumed there was one car on the outside of him, and it's tough out there, man. Tough deal.
That's one of them things where these guys will, this is the intermediate class, the rookie class, and these guys will learn that sometimes you wanna wait a lap before you try and close that up. When you have a guy look to your outside like that, we've all done it when we were newer, and that's just something that gap closes up.
Colton Joyner will be able to get his backup car. He'll be fine for the feature.
I'm pretty sure he had a pretty impressive run last week, coming from the back. Until he was involved also in an accident there in the feature. So that's 2 weeks in a row here at Volusia that the heat race has claimed the primary car of Colton Joyner. But luckily they've got they're a pretty rich team. They've got 4 race cars, so Colton Joyner's going to get his 4th backup car out.
I got confirmation flagman that his flagman button is not working. That's why that flag did not throw. Thank you for picking that up, Tyler.
Yeah, definitely. No problem there. Definitely needed a caution on that one. Sometimes, you know, we have these Windows updates, the button doesn't want to work, so part of it, and they'll get that fixed up as we're getting ready to turn it back loose. Now Dennis Harrison going to lead your pace here as we go green out of turn number 4.
Good jump for Harrison.
Good jump for Harrison. Nathan Brady runs for that middle now. Jonathan Smeal is going to have that great restart he had from the last start, kind of taken away from him there as he was 3 wide looking for the lead on lap number 1. But now Jonathan Smeal has got that car rolling on the bottom side. He almost clips a Newcomb tire there, turns it on the bottom side of Nathan Brady now. Dennis Harrison right back up to where he likes to be, right on that flat, way up on the cushion here. He might have caught a little push there, though. Here comes Jonathan Smeal on the bottom side. Out of turn number 4, that outside momentum continues to lead, though. Now Nathan Brady might have found something. He jumps way out there to the cushion with Dennis Harrison, and now they're digging on the outside. Jonathan Smeal in second, still running that bottom line. Here comes Nathan Brady to his outside. Right by the Newcomb tire, they're side by side at the line. Jonathan Smeal to the inside, 2 to go. 2 laps to go for Dennis Harrison. Can he hold off your point leader in the 13 machine? That bottom side still just a little bit too good for that outside to be fast. And right now, Jonathan Smeal leads on the Smeal Racing Designs white flag. Into turns 1 and 2. Off of turn number 2, Jonathan Smeal, now your leader. Down the back straightaway. Into turns 3 and 4, Dennis Harrison moves to the bottom. He's going to try and throw one last Hail Mary out. Out of turn number 4. Who's going to get it? I can't call it. I can't call it. I can't call it. Oh, my goodness. Jonathan Smeal, by 19 thousandths of a second, Dennis Harrison III threw him over his shoulder and said, "Watch this." Cuts under him, takes a peek to the inside. What a race! What a heat race!
I thought it was all over, but you know,
we'll see if
saying even is, man. But I just thought it was all over, and he just cut that car and made something happen. I couldn't believe that stuck like that.
I tell you what. He said it went over to the fat lady sang, and the fat lady almost did not sing. Almost!
I know.
19 thousandths away from not singing. But unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to put it, whoever you're a fan of, Jonathan Smeal takes the win for heat race number 2 with the Highland Designs Pro Late Models in a barn burner. Something I didn't think was going to be a barn burner ended up being a barn burner. Crime, and he lost the breath out of me. And that last corner, he looked and you got to wonder, is Dennis Harrison going to put that little note in his back pocket? And think maybe that bottom is going to come in a little bit. I know he likes to run that way outside, but I tell you what, that bottom, his car looked like it stuck pretty good when he put her down there.
Oh, yeah, that was impressive. I mean, it's hard enough to cut the car as low as John Smeal was running, and Harrison just cut that right to the bottom, and that car just dug up off the bottom. I mean, it was a barn burner. That was an impressive race. I tell you what, I think he'll put that in his back pocket.
Hopefully he'll put that in his back pocket here. As we're going to line him up for your feature event. Mike Anderson going to have to go to the tail here. Would have had a good starting position for again tonight. But he's going to have to pull what I would like to call maybe some sort of Dale McDowell move here. Kind of ride around in the back and get his feet under him here about halfway.
So who's that put on the pole? First
on
time.
The pole.
Unbelievable. I'm going to go ahead and sign it off, bud. I'm going to talk it up. Because the first time that I ever remember that our good buddy, ADJ, Axon Jackson, Kevin Jackson out of Grampian, Pennsylvania will start on the pole of a feature event here in the Highline Size Pro Lates Division. Outside of him is your points leader in 13. Out of Reynoldsville, John Smeal.
Inside row number 2 in the 46th machine. Quick time and hot laps. That'll be Kirk Hess out of Clearfield, Pennsylvania. Outside him in the 42H, your rookie. That is going to be Dennis Harrison III. He's out of Allegheny, New York.
Inside your third row to 72 out of DuBois, Pennsylvania will be Dave Riesinger. And outside of him and out of Hyde. In the 77, we got Nathan Brady.
inside row number 4 in that 98 machine coming out of Clearfield, Pennsylvania. Now that's going to be Larry Hess. Got to wonder if he's wondering about that 46 machine in about 2 rows ahead of him. That's Hess on Hess Havoc. But on his outside, in the 157, that's going to be David McGovern. He comes out of Curwensville, Pennsylvania.
And finishing out your row inside. In the 116 out of Du Bois, last week's feature winner will be Mike Anderson, and outside of him in a 1-star will be Colton Joyner out of Du Bois, PA.
A car, once again, not making the grid, but going to have some show-up points here at least tonight. That's the 91 machine, the White Shadow, Justin Diltz. Did not get it out for feature time either, so... But leading him to the green, Action Jackson in the 80J. He will fire out of turn number 4.
Good jump for Jackson, too.
Action Jackson leads him into turns 1 and 2. Your leader out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, he's side-by-side, wheel-to-wheel with the 13 machine of Jonathan Smeal. Whoa, he's going to slide up to the middle. He's going to cut the car. He'll get it turned. Hold on to it, Action Jackson. He'll fall back to third now. Here comes Nathan Brady to the outside, looking for that podium spot now. To the outside. Nathan Brady's got a car on him here. He'll shoot to third early in this one. Dennis Harrison, he'll go to second. Action Jackson going to try and get his feet back under him. Here's Kurt Kess, works his way to the bottom side. Jonathan Smeal, your leader. Dennis Harrison in second. Nathan Brady opens the door up for Kurt Kess on the bottom side. Kurt Kess now takes a peek to the inside. Action Jackson in the 98 machine of Larry Hess behind him. Up at the front of the field, though, you got that 42H. He has put that in his back pocket. He's on the bottom looking for the lead in the turn number 3. He'll show the nose to Jonathan Smeal. Out of turn number 4, Dennis Harrison has him by half a cat's whisker.
Same move.
Same
He put it
move.
in his back pocket. He
And
put
this-
it in his back pocket.
Definitely put it in the back pocket, and now he is showing where the bottom is to Jonathan Smeal. As now he'll continue to work that bottom side. Gonna come closer out of turn number 4. Too close to call. I think it was Dennis Harrison. Can we see a slide job here? Gets a little tight there up the racetrack. Jonathan Smeal stays in it. He'll try and go around the outside of him. Down the back straightaway. Jonathan Smeal would have the car advantage into turns 3 and 4. When Harrison gets that car turned, though, he's got a rocket ship off at turn number 4. He has him at the line side by side. Into turns 1 and 2. Dennis Harrison gets it turned. Good turn for Dennis Harrison. He's going to have a rocket ship here off at turn number 2. He'll have John Smeal cleared into turns number 3. Into turns 3 and 4. Out of turn number 4. John Smeal, your points leader. He's going to relinquish the lead to the 42H and Dennis Harrison the third. Your rookie trying to get one here tonight.
That car is impressive up the bottom. And all kinds of forward drive.
You can tell that 42H when he gets in there, and even when the car gets upset, it's, wow, he's right on that Newcomb tire. Criminy. He is right on the tires right now, and I tell you what, he gapped 2 car lengths on Jonathan Smeal right there. Veteran move running that bottom like that right now in that 42H machine. He's showing what he's got here as a rookie. Out of turn number 4. He'll continue to run on that bottom side, and right now he's pulling away and probably not using a whole lot of tire, just kind of creeping there. He's got a lot of, you can tell right there when he doesn't quite get it in there right. He gets a little tight there, a lot of drive in that 42H, but that's going to help him here as this track continues to slick up. That car will come to him.
Yeah, very impressive for our rookie in that 42H. That is...
But maybe even more impressive, Action Jackson still running in the 4th place position right now, trying to go to work on Nathan Brady for 3rd. Down the back straightaway, Action Jackson runs 4th in front of Kirk Hess and the 98 of Larry Hess. Could we have some more Hess on Hess Havoc? Action Jackson's found his spot. He got his feet under him after that restart, trying to track down the 77 machine. If he could get around Nathan Brady right here, we'd be having a party tomorrow at work. Into turns 3 and 4.
Absolutely.
Action Jackson's got her hooked up on the berm, trying to go after that 77 machine. You're missing nothing up front. Your best battle right now is right here for 4th. Dennis Harrison leads over John Smeal. Nathan Brady 3rd. Here comes Larry Hess on the bottom. He got around the 46 machine, trying to look to the inside of Action Jackson now into turns 1 and 2. Mike Anderson following suit behind him. Mike Anderson continues to creep right now. Here comes Larry Hess looking for 4th now on Action Jackson. Nathan Brady also at risk. Down the front straightaway. Nathan Brady runs 3rd. Larry Hess trying to take it away. Action Jackson behind him. There, 2 by 2 by 2 back here at the back of the field.
That's a hornet's nest back there.
Hornet's Nest from third on back. Nathan Brady, Action Jackson, Larry Hess, Kurt Kest, Mike Anderson. Those cars are under a blanket and not far behind Colton Joyner and Dave Riesinger. Now Larry Hess is going to work his way to that 4th place position. Larry Hess using that bottom lane just like the cars in front of him. Here comes Mike Anderson now. You can just tell the way that bottom is digging right now. Off of turn number 2. Mike Anderson to the inside of Action Jackson. Here comes Mike Anderson. He'll look to the inside of Larry Hess. Not that time. Nathan Brady's leaving that door open. Here comes Larry Hess. Going to try and work his way through that door. Off of turn number 2. Nathan Brady, outside momentum, continues to run third. Mike Anderson just looking for a way around him. He's last week's feature winner. He's got a great car under him here tonight. Colton Joyner behind them. Action Jackson and Nathan Brady maybe starting to feel like they are in the wrong spot. Nathan Brady holding off that 98 though. Could we see a slide jump here as Larry Hess drives it in deep. He'll slide up to the middle of the racetrack. He's going to leave him on lane. But Larry Hess has the spot now. Mike Anderson driving that car in ever so straight. He'll look to the inside now at Nathan Brady. Back up at the front of your field. Dennis Harrison putting a clinic on these guys. Jonathan Smeal trying to run that same line, but Dennis Harrison the fastest car. Look at the Hornets that's behind him though. Larry Hess trying to pull away a little bit now. Mike Anderson going for 5th right now. He's actually going for 4th now on Nathan Brady. Nathan Brady back to 5th now. Colton Joyner look. Oh, Nathan Brady's going to try and get to the inside. He's going to try and shut the door on Colton Joyner. He will. So Nathan Brady going to close the door after Larry Hess and Mike Anderson work around him, and he's going to try and move that bottom side. He gets a little high there, though. Colton Joyner poking nose.
Just want to make a note that Justin Diltz did join the field, and he is 1 lap down, but he is on track.
So Justin Diltz is making laps, just could not make the starting grid, unfortunately, but all part of it. David McGovern also out there. He's a little bit behind the rest of the cars. He is now in sight of Dennis Harrison in the 42H, and I tell you what, Dennis Harrison put that in his pocket and has been using it so far tonight. That 42H is rolling on the bottom. This track really not ripping up like you thought it might have. And you can tell these guys are all running the bottom. Look at the crumbs in the middle of the racetrack. And I tell you what, Larry Hess is actually coming up the racetrack trying to use that a little bit. Mike Anderson's still trying to dig on that bottom side. Here comes Nathan Brady now. He'll take a peek to the inside of Mike Anderson now that he's found that new line on the bottom. Colton Joyner behind them. All these cars under a blanket. Now Dennis Harrison works to the inside of David McGovern. Dennis Harrison, he'll cut the car on the bottom side. David McGovern on the outside. Dennis Harrison will clear the 157 down the back straightaway. Jonathan Smeal, maybe ever so slightly starting to roll him in, reel him in here a little bit. Dennis Harrison starting to feel the pressure maybe of that 13 machine behind him. Larry Hess back to the bottom.
We are early 28 laps in, so there's a lot of racing left. This track's going to transition, and that bottom's going to go away a little bit.
Yeah, you can already tell as now Kirk Hess and Dave Riesinger are coming back into the party there. Colton Joyner was able to work his way around the 77 machine of Nathan Brady. Jonathan Smeal now going to work his way to the inside of David McGovern. Now they'll put him a lap down once again. So that gap was down to 1.6 seconds between Dennis Harrison and Jonathan Smeal, and now back up to a 2.1. So that gap, what you could say is once again increasing for Dennis Harrison, the third. But down the back straightaway, we still got a gaggle of cars here. Larry Hess leads that back pack here. Mike Anderson maybe going to try and set up a pass here. Here he comes to the inside, side by side at the line. Colton Joyner going to try and take advantage. Mike Anderson really shallow there. Has to get the car turned a little bit late. Colton Joyner going to take advantage. He'll go to the outside coast and try to get a big run down the back straightaway. Into turn number 3. Mike Anderson tried to set that up. Larry Hess now going to tiptoe around the outside. Colton Joyner going to follow him along, and Colton Joyner's going to go around that 116 machine. Mike Anderson gets the car set. He'll cut across the bottom side. Now going to take a look back to the inside. Colton Joyner stuck behind the 98 machine. Now Mike Anderson back to the inside of him. Going to try and take a peek on the 98 machine. Off of turn number 4. Mike Anderson back ahead of that one-star machine. Into turns 1 and 2, out of turn number 2. Colton Joyner trying to figure out who he wants to pass. And I tell you what, they've got the lap traffic of Dave McGovern in front of them. This could get pretty crazy pretty quick here. Down the front straightaway. Still not missing anything up front. Dennis Harrison leads by 1.5. Jonathan Smeal might have shrunk it a little bit, but he still is leading. 1.3 now. Jonathan Smeal. Mike Anderson's working his way around Larry Hess here off of turn number 4. They've got lap traffic ahead of him as they're side by side. Are they going to single file out? This could hurt for Mike Anderson. David McGovern on the bottom. Colton Joyner now takes a peek to the inside. We're going to be 3 wide down the back straightaway for third. Into turns 3 and 4. Colton Joyner on the bottom. Mike Anderson in the middle out of turn number 4. They'll stay clean and green. Here comes the lap car, David McGovern. This could be a problem. Up the racetrack, Colton Joyner goes. He's going to be used as a pick there on loose ground. Now Larry Hess and Mike Anderson are going to try and work their way to the outside of David McGovern. David McGovern just going to try and hold his line. He's going to maybe shut the door there. Colton Joyner slips to the inside there. Now Mike Anderson, he's going to back it up. He'll go to the inside now. David McGovern not quite sure where to go. He's from the top to the bottom there. They're all going to stay clean and green though. Now Nathan Brady on the inside of the 116 of Mike Anderson here. Back up at the front of the field. That gap has shortened. Now they're getting around Justin Diltz in the 91 machine. Jonathan Smeal now at the deck lid of the 42H of Dennis Harrison III. He's rode him in from a 2-second deficit down to just a 0.3 tenths away. This is your battle for the lead right now. Jonathan Smeal strives in the middle of 3 and 4 off of turn number 4 now. To work lap 41 now into turns 1 and 2. Harrison right on the bottom side. Can Jonathan Smeal find a little bit more? David McGovern looking like he might pull it in here. That might hurt Dennis Harrison, though. Dennis Harrison has to move out of his groove here. To the inside comes John Smeal. His contact into turns 1 and 2. John Smeal, he'll get the cork turn. He's going to leave him a lane, though. Dennis Harrison around the outside. Dennis Harrison now knows the 13 machine there. He's going to jump to the outside. He's going to leave that door open for Jonathan Smeal to try and walk through, and Jonathan Smeal says thank you. He'll go to the lead by half a cat's whisker. There's the elbow! Right rear from Jonathan Smeal. Dennis Harrison is going to give it back here as we get ready to go down into turn number 3. Side by side, where to where. Here comes Dennis Harrison. Does he throw it back? Into turns 3 and 4. Dennis Harrison not going to throw it back. He'll cut it around the bottom side of half a cat's whisker. Can't tell who hasn't. Here comes Dennis Harrison back to the bottom side. John Smeal now on the outside. Can Dennis Harrison hold him off? He throws the right rear up there. Side by side, down the back straightaway. Might have been a little contact with the wall. There's Jonathan Smeal. He's going to try and get him on the outside. Dennis Harrison, your leader, once again off of turn number 4. These guys are tooth and nail right now fighting at the front of the field. Great battle all night so far. Jonathan Smeal gets his feet back under him. Going to try and go back to the lead here on the outside. He tries to cross him over. Dennis Harrison holds his line on the bottom. Jonathan Smeal had to lift there. He's going to try and go back to the bottom now. He's going to try and find that little bit better groove on the bottom. Dennis Harrison is absolutely putting a block on. Dennis Harrison doing what he has to do right now, running on that bottom line, not letting John Smeal take that preferred line. Smeal's going to have to try and find another way around him. He'll move to the middle now. Dennis Harrison on the bottom. Down the back straightaway. Dennis Harrison III. Your leader. Off at turn number 4. Jonathan Smeal on that outside lane just doesn't quite have it yet. Dennis Harrison still leads into turn number 1. He has to cut the car. Big checkup from John Smeal not to get into him. Dennis Harrison feeling the nerves right now in that 42H machine. Trying to hold it as close as he can to that bottom side. Jonathan Smeal looking for a little mistake there. He had the mistake there, but he couldn't quite capitalize. He's got to try and set it up here. Off at turn number 2, John Smeal, he'll swing to the outside. Can he get a run here in 3 and 4? Harrison on the bottom. Gets a good turn there. Harrison's still going to lead off at turn number 4. Here comes John Smeal with some outside momentum. Into turns 1 and 2. Out of turn number 2. Dennis Harrison around on the bottom. John Smeal with a good run on the outside. Harrison back to the bottom. Can John Smeal make anything happen on the outside out of turn number 4? Still Dennis Harrison in the 42H. We are 2/3 in this one as we work lap 51 now. These guys have just about evened out with the rest of the field, so you got to wonder if there's a caution, but right now we are caution-free, 51 laps in this one. Dennis Harrison still your leader over John Smeal. John Smeal back on the binders. John Smeal's got to try and find a way to set him up here, Dad, and he's just trying to follow him, and I don't think that's going to work.
Now he's going to have to set him up. Is Harrison doing? He's driving almost like a veteran here, as he's knowing what he's got to do to take the line away from the 13, and you wouldn't believe that that's a rookie behind that 42H.
No, you wouldn't. See right there, he just couldn't quite set him up there, and he just has to lift. He's got to try and make a move here. Got to try and what you would call a power move. If he's going to get around him, he's going to have to maybe look to make something happen. I tell you what, John Smeal has been clean so far, though. A little bit of an elbow on that first pass, but Dennis Harrison got back around, and you see Harrison cutting that car, getting it more bent just to stay on that bottom side.
If I was Smeal right now, I would swing out wide, try to get a big run off the corner, and try to set him up to get a big run off. But
yeah, I
looks like
definitely
now he is starting to swing out. It looks like he's trying to set it up right there.
Yeah, right there. If he would have had a bigger cut down there, he might have had a shot to get under him there. You know, he's just sliding up, and no, John Smeal even got a little loose there. Dennis Harrison come up the racetrack a little bit. Holy man, what a battle here at the front of the field. Out of turn number 4. On the Newcomb tires is still Dennis Harrison. He leaves him a lane. John Smeal, he's at his right rear quarter panel into turns 1 and 2. Could this be the time? Grows all the way up to the cushion. Off at turn number 2. That inside just a little bit more grip. Into turns 3 and 4. Dennis Harrison gets it turned pretty good here. Maybe a little sideways. Here comes John Smeal. Not quite. Still Dennis Harrison. Can't make a mistake, though. He slides to the middle there. Here comes John Smeal. Jonathan Smeal now to the outside. He's got him he's at his quarter panel. Into turns 3 and 4. The gap, less than a tenth out of turn number 4. Half a cat's whisker to Dennis Harrison. That outside maybe starting to come in. Now Dennis Harrison maybe going to try and move up. He grabs a little bit of them crumbs. Trying to squeeze the 13 machine. Gives him a lane. Into turns 3 and 4. Jonathan Smeal scoots to the middle of the racetrack. Here comes Dennis Harrison back on the bottom with the grip. Jonathan Smeal, your leader, out of turn number 4. Dennis Harrison right back to the outside. He gets a little bit sideways there. Jonathan Smeal got to pull wholesale ground on him. Now that Jonathan Smeal's been able to work his way around him here, you got to wonder, does Dennis Harrison have anything in the tank to try and get back around him? Behind them, though, a car that is inching their way towards them. Mike Anderson and Colton Joyner fighting behind them. Mike Anderson's raced his way all the way to 30. He's got to be hoping for a caution. Only 4 seconds back right now. I don't know if they're going to be able to make that time up here before the end of the race. They got to hope for a caution here.
I've been watching them guys there, and Colton Joyner and Mike Anderson putting on quite a show back there as we haven't been able to watch because the leaders have been putting on a show up front, but Colton Joyner working that top side, Mike Anderson on the bottom. And these two guys are, I think right now, just as fast as the leaders. So if we have a caution, this could be quite a barn burner.
Definitely could. Justin Diltz is going to pull it in here. Jonathan Smeal continues to lead, trying to become the first repeat winner here with the Highline Designs Pro Late Models. We've had one in big blocks. We've had one in Super Lates now. Still looking for somebody to do it here in the Pro Lates. Jonathan Smeal looking to be that one. Dennis Harrison trying to get his first ever win. Here's a rookie. David McGovern and Justin Diltz have both pulled the cars into the infield. They're done for the night. Dennis Harrison trying to find a little bit of something, but you got to think maybe that right rear tire started to go away as Jonathan Smeal now runs that bottom line. But I have to agree with you. I think that 116 machine and that one start machine are both at the pace. Oh, Dennis Harrison might have caught the wall there. Now they're right on him for second. Off at turn number 2, Mike Anderson looks to the inside. They're 2 by 2 behind him now. Dennis Harrison must have caught the wall there a little bit, and now he's got cars behind him. There's contact between Colton Joyner and the 116 of Mike Anderson. They'll stay clean and green. Colton Joyner is way up on the flat, getting everything he can out there. Down the back straightaway, gets a huge run. Dennis Harrison drops back to the bottom. You can see Colton Joyner is using that wall. Sparks flying as he's trying to go around Dennis Harrison now. Colton Joyner shooting out of a rocket. He's way out there on the outside. Look at him on that berm right now. If you can't win the show, be the show. Colton Joyner continuing to bang the boards here in the 1 star. Out of turn number 4, Colton Joyner will now go to second. Dennis Harrison holding up the 116 of Mike Anderson. Now he runs through the middle. Though, can Mike Anderson get the car cut under him here? Off of turn number 2, Mike Anderson takes a peek to the inside. Joyner back up to that outside lane. He'll run second right now. 5 laps to go. Mike Anderson pulls into that podium position now. Great run for him coming from the back. That car is straight and clean. He's looking pretty good here. Pretty sporty, but they're looking for a caution. Not sure if they're going to get one. Dennis Harrison dropping back to 4th now. Larry Hess behind them with Kirk Hess. Nathan Brady runs 7th. Dave Riesinger 8th. Action Jackson now a threat of being lapped down. Lap cars in front of the 13 machine. They're side by side in front of him. Action Jackson and the 72 machine. And Dave Riesinger! Action Jackson's way up on the berm. Everything he can get out of it. He's trying to make a power move on the 72. Back up to the berm. He's banging it off the fence in that 80J machine. Jonathan Spiel trying to go 3 wide there. He'll go to the outside of the 72 machine. Dave Riesinger. Action Jackson back up to the outside. Jonathan Spiel going to try and pass him on the inside. Action Jackson is absolutely tearing the fence down right now. I tell you what. If he can run like that at Lernerville, he might have a pretty good shot here next week as those two battle behind, side by side once again. Close to contact there between the 80J and the 72 of Dave Riesinger, but Jonathan Spiel now has clean air. As he's got a 3.7 gap to Colton Joyner and a 1-star behind him. Mike Anderson in 3rd, Dennis Harrison still runs 4th. The 13 machine of Jonathan Smeal trying to become your first repeat winner here in the Highline Designs Pro Late Models. The Smeal Racing Designs white flag one more time around here at Volusia. That's a checkered flag. We list the 1 lap to go as the Smeal Racing Designs white flag is over, and Jonathan Smeal takes your win over the 1-star of Colton Joyner, the 116 of Mike Anderson, rounding out your podium.
Jonathan Spill will be your back road powder coated victory lane.
Was on the lap cars there, and they were a lap behind your leader, which I was not accounting for there, and we missed the Smeal Racing Designs white flag, but that last Smeal Racing Designs white flag lap was led by Jonathan Smeal in the 13 machine. As he will bring home the check and the money.
And I will say that this week, Colton Joyner, who went from 10th to 2nd, Mike Anderson went from 11th to 3rd.
So they would have tied.
So Colton Joyner finishes ahead of Mike Anderson. So Colton Joyner will be your Newcomb Automotive hard charger of the race. Good run for Colton Joyner as he had that trouble in that heat race and was able to go from 10th to 2nd and be on the podium tonight. So good recovery from that heat race accident.
I guess that's the plus to having 4 backup cars. That the 4th one had some pretty good speed there for him, and he was able to, although using quite a bit of the right rear quarter panel, drive it to a 2nd place finish here tonight as we wait for them to get out of their cars and make their way up to the booth here. Mike Anderson, great. Also a great run. Colton Joyner and Mike Anderson really came from the back of the field all night. You know, they kind of ran together all the way up through to their respective 2nd and 3rd place finishes.
Something that wasn't used in that race at all was your elevated outdoors hot pit. So we went.
And another thing that wasn't used was your Oval Track Specialties caution flag.
No, these guys went 75 laps, clean and green.
Great racing all the way through there. You know, you got to see some great racing there from 3rd on back, and then the battle for the lead heat up. So, as I do believe we have all 3 in the booth now, Dad, to get a word with them.
All right, well, John and Smale, our first repeat winner here in the Highline Designs Pro Late Division. Good race tonight, as you had a heck of a race there with the newcomer Dennis Harrison Jr. or Dennis Harrison III, I'm sorry, there in that race, and he's able to work by him there as his tires fell off late in the race. But good race, good patience. He was able to keep it green, keep it clean there, and work your way up to the front and take the win.
Yeah, he definitely made me earn it. I'll tell you what, Daniel's gonna get himself a win. I think just some setup tweaks to try and help conserve his tires, and he's gonna be a threat. He just super consistent, wouldn't give you the bottom. I had to go around him the hard way. The one time got into the corner, we made some contact, and I got a little squirrely. Glad to see that he was able to stay right outside me, and holy man, was that a heck of a race. I mean, kudos to all of these guys. The fact that we were able to go 75 laps, flag to flag. I'm out of breath. I need a drink.
It was quite a race, actually. I mean, 75 laps, like you brought up there, without a caution. I don't think there was a lap that went by that there wasn't somebody side by side in that race, and it just shows where this league has got to, and the talent level, even in our pro lates, are supposed to be our rookie and intermediate late model division, but you guys are very talented also, and just want to say you guys put on a heck of a show week in and week out, and congratulations on your win.
Yeah, thank you guys for putting this on for us, bringing such a great group of guys together that we can run like that, door to door, run hard, 75 laps, and not have a yellow. That's insane. You can't do that in an official or any other hosted race on the service. So that's just a hats off to you guys on the process of bringing guys in and vetting everyone, and the respect that we have on track for one another.
That's been our goal since day one, and so far it's been holding up pretty good. So I hope that we can continue and build these classes up a little bit bigger for the upcoming years. But we appreciate you, and we appreciate everything you've done to help us out. Also, I just want to know you thanked us, but who else would you like to thank?
Gotta thank my wife. She's always super supportive through all of this. She didn't stay up tonight because a little bit later on the start time for us, but gotta thank them. Gotta thank just everybody involved with this. I am a loss for words after that intense race.
Yeah, that was definitely a good one, and congratulations again on your back road powder coating victory lane, and we'll probably see you here. Good chance maybe in the podium next week here. We go to a special at Lernerville. Hopefully you're ready for that, and congratulations. And we're going to move on down here to our second place finisher. What a run, Colton Joyner, from getting wrecked, getting in an accident in the heat race, just a racing accident. Didn't know he was out there. It was one of those deals, but you was able to compose yourself, start in the back, and you were also able to be our Newcomb Automotive hard charger of the race and move up to second. And congratulations on a good race, Colton.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, I just tried to pick them off one by one. I got around Mike there early on the race and decided to go up top. Wasn't anything there yet, so I decided to duck back down underneath him, waited as long as I could, and stepped it out on the top side and got around him. And I just didn't think that I had a car worth second place today.
Well, it did look pretty good. It seemed like as the race went on, you got a little bit better and better there on that outside. You were able to use a little bit of a pick there. But you and Mike, every time I look back after we was looking at the race up front for first and second, we would look back and I just saw you and Mike Anderson side by side, lap after lap, and it was a good clean race in between you two. I mean, we're going to have a little door in here and there, but you guys were able to make a heck of a race, and it was fun to watch. And congratulations getting up there into second and making that happen. And I guarantee we're probably going to see you here at Victory Lane soon. But who would you like to thank?
I'd like to thank the sponsors that help us along this way, you guys, and Highline Designs.
All right, Colton. Well, congratulations, and we'll see you next week, hopefully, and at Lernerville Speedway, I believe we're going to. So we'll see you next week, and we'll move on down here to Mike Anderson. Mike, another climb from the back. Good run. I mean, to make the podium from dead last, you can't complain about that. You were smooth once again, and it seems like you got Volusia figured out pretty well.
Yeah, thanks. First off, congrats to Smeal on the win. Yeah, just put it on the bottom again. I contemplated changing the car this week, but after last week, I'm not sure how I can justify changing it. So I knew what it did last week and just put it back on the bottom. And like Colton did, just picked them off one by one and bide my time. And good battle with him. So thanks to Colton for a good, clean race. We had a couple little bumps, but I mean, I smiled every time it happened. So I hope he did too. So yeah, good race. Fun.
Oh yeah, when you race side by side, lap after lap after lap. I mean, contact is inevitable, and you know when it's minimal contact like that, you're able to not wreck, and it's just good race, and it makes it fun. And you know, when I was looking at your lap times there at the end, you guys were very, very similar to Smeal, who won. And if we had a caution, it could have made it interesting there at the end. But Smeal was able to run a complete race there and really do a good job and pull that off. But you guys put on a heck of a show and come from the back. Congratulations on that third place.
Thank you. Yeah, it was fun. Like I said, track position's huge in this class. As you can see tonight, caution-free 75 laps. So it's one of the things where you don't want to hang out too long, but you know, always pushing it doesn't really get you anywhere either because everybody's just so close. But yeah, lots of fun. Like to thank you guys for putting this league on. Appreciate that very much. Appreciate Nick from Highline Designs for the wraps and just everybody in the class keeping the car underneath them and putting on a good show, caution free. Can't ask for much more than that.
Well, we appreciate you too, Mike. You're one of the original 8 in this whole deal, and well, I appreciate you sticking with us and bringing your kids along, and maybe you'll have a couple more kids join us in the future.
Oh, geez. Gonna have to find a new internet provider.
Yeah. All right, Mike. Well, we'll see you next week in Lernerville and see if you can make the podium next week. And good luck to you.
Thanks again.
All right, Tyler. Well, that's a wrap on week 4 of the Instigator Race League. And good job announcing again, as always. And appreciate everything you do too, bud.
Thanks, bud. You too, man.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. We you know, we get a lot of thanks, you know, but I know we wouldn't be able to do it without everybody who is on the track racing. I mean, you can't, you know, stream a race if these guys aren't going to go out there and put on a barn burner for us. So, you know, appreciate them, and of course, you know, appreciate you, you know, with all the, you know, you having to take all the text messages in and all the questions and figuring out who you want to really bring into this awesome thing. So, just awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody involved, and
well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you saying so. And it is a process, because to keep it the way it is, I've got to, you know, like they said, vet everybody and just see, make sure they're going to be compliant with how we want to run things here, and if they're want to be part of the team, because this is like a family here, and everybody that gets involved, we just, you know, we want to take it serious and we want to follow the rules, and yeah, that's what makes it great. You know, that's why we could race side by side. Everybody knows what we're supposed to do, and we know we want to race hard, and we want to have as clean a race as possible. Accidents are going to happen, but we're not just going to go out there and just run people over. And that's, you know, that's what it's all about. And to make it as, it's like if you're in the real car, and it's like, you know, would I make that move if I was in a real car? That's what I want people to try to do. Not to, hey, I know I'm in this sim car, and it doesn't matter what happens. Well, we're going to try to make it as realistic as possible. We're going to try to make it as fun. It makes it fun, makes it way more interesting, I think. And, you know, guys out there, and when we started this, we were looking for a place to go. They were tired of getting wrecked all the time out there on your officials, and different things were, you know, just getting run over, and they wanted to race. They wanted to be realistic and have a good time, and that's why we started this league. And I think, tell you what, man, it's really taken off, and I think we're only going to get bigger from here.
definitely.
All right, well, that's it for week 4. You sign us off, and we'll see everybody next week, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully see everybody next week in Lernerville. That's definitely a track where these guys are going to have to get up on the wheel, and you might see some slide jobs that are clean and some that might have some hurt feelings. So stay tuned for that.
100%. Lernerville is definitely one of the most stressful racetracks I have raced at, and I'll tell you that right now. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not looking forward to it. Man, at 50 years old, I don't know if I can hang with you guys and you young guys in this Super Lake class on this track. But we'll give her a shot. We'll see y'all next week.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see you here and stay tuned, and we'll see you then.